midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi
News.
.3 City FM. This is the City Prime News. We're broadcasting live from our studio at Adabraka here in Accra. Coming up in this bulletin, Health Minister Kwabena Mintah-Kando addresses recent controversy surrounding his engagement with alleged assaulter of a nurse at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital.
We have constituted a committee to investigate the matter within a week. The law takes its own course.
Also in this edition of the City Prime News, dancehall musician Shatta Wale granted 10 million cedi bail. We'll bring you updates from the Office of the Office of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, where some of his supporters have besieged the office following his detention over the purchase of a Lamborghini Urus. Still on the City Prime News, national security operatives in the Ashanti region intercept dozens of suspected fake diapers.
Up to date, no one has come here to claim for the ownership because they knew that it is fake. So we've called FDA, they came, they verify it, and it's fake. And later, we're at Menchia Palace in Kumasi as thousands gather for the one-week observance of the late Asante Hima, Nana Kunadu Yadom III. All these and more on the City Prime News, which is live from our studio here in Adabraka in Accra and around the world. We're heard live on Newsroom.com. In the Western region, we're on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrady. In the Bono region, we're on Green FM 95.9 FM in Sunyani, and in the Ashanti region, we're heard on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi, and Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajavu and VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
I am Charles Ozukume, grateful to you for your time this afternoon. Let's begin with the Health Ministry. The Minister for the sector, Kwabena Mintah-Kando, says his engagement with Ralph St. Williams, the man accused of assaulting a nurse at Ridge Hospital, should not be interpreted as a sign that he will not take firm action on the matter. His comments follow public backlash over a video circulated on social media showing him shaking hands with the accused. Addressing the press today, the minister clarified that the interaction was only a formality and would not affect the ministry's commitment to ensuring appropriate action is taken against the perpetrators.
I then constituted a committee to look into the matter, bring out recommendations for implementation. A lawyer, a nurse, a medical doctor, an auditor, an HR person to go into the matter. Now, when I pulled out, my attention was drawn to a gentleman called Ralph, who was at the center of the controversy. And so he was walking towards us as a group. The medical director was with me. The deputy director general was also with me. Then I asked, why did you do this, gentleman? The gentleman then stretched his hand, shaking me and trying to whisper something into my ears. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, should I push the guy that don't whisper anything into my ears? Should I snub him? Should I shout at him? So let us not reduce the fact that I shook hands with him does not mean that I should stop any measure or any steps that the ministry or government will take to unravel the situation. We have a lot to deliver, and some of these things will not divert our attention.
Health Minister Kwabena Mintah-Kando also cautioned against attempts to create tensions between the ministry and health workers.
Let me state this, that I have the health workers of this country at heart. And so any attempt by any individual or any group of people to try to incite the health professionals against government, pretending he cares more than us, is unfortunate. And we must stop that. It's an avoidable tension we must avoid. It doesn't help the sector. If indeed you are a practicing health professional in the sector, it doesn't help the sector.
That was the Health Minister, Kwabena Minta Akando. Let's stay with Labour matters. Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, has outlined new measures to strengthen the National Labour Commission in protecting employees, especially those who deal directly with the public from attacks. Now, his comments follow the recent assaults on health workers at the Greater Accra Regional Hospital raised by relatives of an accident victim who accused staff of delaying treatment. Now, appearing before the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament, Dr. Pelpo says a meeting has been convened with the Labour Commission to discuss strategies for addressing and preventing such incidents with the aim of ensuring a stable and secure workforce.
One of the key things we do in the ministry is to ensure that we have a stable, healthy workforce in this country, and it's part of the law that is binding our functional duty to the people of Ghana. And we have the Labour Commission, which has all the duties of ensuring that single issues like these are handled effectively. So I have called a meeting with them, and they would look at it more comprehensively and advise on what next they will need to strengthen their own capacity to make sure the whole country is covered. The Labour Commission has requested that it will be of great importance if we can have regional offices which will look at it comprehensively throughout the country.
That was Minister for Labour, Jobs and Employment, Dr. Rashid Pelpo. Let's now focus on one of the big stories in the last 24 hours. The Economic and Organised Crime Office, YOCO, has granted dancehall artist Shatta Wale, also known as Charles Nyama Mensah, bail of 10 million Ghana cedis with two sureties to be justified. Yoko detained the musician yesterday as part of investigations into tax obligations linked to his yellow Lamborghini. In a video shared by his manager Samuel Atuobiba, it was revealed that Shatta Wale's legal team is working to meet the bail conditions to secure his release. He also clarified that the inquiry focuses solely on taxes related to the vehicle and the operations of Shatta Wale's companies. Well, we will hear him pretty shortly, but my colleague Zoe Abubedu has just joined me in studio. Yoko have released a statement following that invasion of the offices by some supporters of Shatta Wale. Zoe, you have that statement. What are the salient points of that statement?
So this statement is in two parts. You know that the case is also in the US, which has to do with this vehicle in question, but I'll deal with the second part, which has something to do directly with Charles Nyama Mensah, also known as Shatta Wale, and I'll be paraphrasing some of them and just give our listeners some details of what this EOCO statement is saying. So
Okay.
it said, you quite remember that when the vehicle was seized, Shatta Wale went live on social media, and based on that live session that he had, EOCO invited him to their offices, and
Okay.
that was supposed to be on August 13, which was rescheduled to August 20, which was yesterday at 10 a.m. But counsel for Charles Nyama Mensah indicated to EOCO that they would prefer to report at 11. However, yesterday, shortly before 11, his counsel called EOCO that his client, which is Shatta Wale, was not available and that he was also busy. And so EOCO indicated to him that he and his client were expected to report as scheduled.
Okay.
So Charles Nyama arrived at 3 p.m. and insisted that he was not going to cooperate until his counsel arrived. And Yoko indicates that it's a right that he's entitled to, so they allowed that to happen. Yoko investigators and Shatawale waited from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. before the council showed up. Incidentally, Yoko's closing time is 5 p.m. However, they indicate that they chose to carry on with the interrogation. They finished around 9 p.m. and their officers left at 11 p.m. Now, he was granted bail around 9 p.m. shortly after interrogation of 10 million Ghana cedis with 2 sureties to be justified. Once the sureties are presented according to Yoko, hopefully this morning Yoko will undertake surety inspection, which is standard protocol, and after which Charles Nyama Mensah Shatawale would leave custody. But this is where it gets quite interesting. Yoko's statement indicates that Shatawale has been unable to identify the person from whom he purchased the said Lamborghini Urus vehicle, except to say that he purchased it from the street and from someone possibly called Zach. And this Zach, he indicates also that he may have contacted a person on WhatsApp, and he doesn't know the person, and he has thrown his contact away. That is in his words. And so far, Shatawale also does not possess any documentation in terms of receipt or transfer document which shows that he owns the purchased or purchased the vehicle, except a custom declaration document in his possession bearing the name of Nana Kwabnamwa, who is currently in jail. And if my memory serves me right, I think during that live session he indicated that he didn't know this Nana Kwabnamwa guy as well. So, but Yoko is saying that based on what he has said and the documentation, the custom declaration document in possession of Shatawale, it bears the name of this Nana Kwabnamwa guy who is currently in jail in the US. So these are the highlights of Yoko's statement that has been released.
Yoko. All right, so my colleague Rachel Engman is currently stationed there at Yoko. I'm grateful to you, Rachel. You reported earlier that some supporters of Shatawale had invaded the premises of Yoko. What is the current situation?
Okay, so hello, Charles. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, Rachel, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm currently outside here at Yoko, where fans of Shatawale have stormed the premises, demanding his request. He's demanding his release. We have fans clad in red and black here, with Shatawale songs blasting on sound systems outside here also. Some are also blaming government for his detention. I just saw his manager here. Let me just try and get him for an interview. Let me speak to his manager here now, please.
Rachel, before you do that, in the video that you sent us, the one we posted on our social media, we didn't see the presence of police or any form of security when these people invaded. Has that situation changed? I was asking if we have police presence there at Yoko now, because the video you sent earlier didn't have any.
Presence here at the premises. So far, there's been no incident. His fans are comporting themselves, though some are angry and complaining and demanding his release. There has been no incident at the moment.
Okay. Do you have Sammy Flex now?
Yes, I see Sammy Flex here. Let me try and get him to tell us what's happening now.
Okay, we have an earlier audio of him explaining the situation. Let's now play that to our listeners.
Before they can continue with the process, they want to give him bail, and a bail of 10 million Ghana cedis, with 2 sureties have been placed on the issue as it stands now. I'm here to inform you the official information and what is happening at Ioko and Shatta movement, or better still, what is happening between Shatta movement and Ioko, because already I've seen there are some people out there who are putting out lies, including prominent or respected media houses, and personally I'm disappointed in many of them.
That was Samuel Atuobiba, also known as Sammy Flex, Shatawale's manager. Rachel Engman is still on the line. Rachel, if you have Sammy Flex now, you can go ahead with that interview.
Sammy would love to remain silent for now, according to him.
All right, I'm grateful to you. Rachel Engman is my colleague here at the Citi Newsroom, reporting from the premises of Yoko, where some supporters of Shatawale earlier invaded the premises demanding his release. Yoko released a statement. My colleague Zoe Abubedo was here earlier to sort of read that statement and explain what the statement said to us. This is still the Channel 1, the Citi News. This is still Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. Still ahead, national security operatives in the Ashanti region intercept dozens of suspected fake diapers. We have details shortly. Please stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Are you searching for a world-class conferencing facility to elevate your next event? Do you need a bougie look for that all-important corporate, board meeting, or private social event? The Alisa Pavilion has an unmatched capacity. Our expansive conference center comfortably seats 1,000 persons in a theater-style setup. This makes it ideal for large conferences, product launches, weddings, social events, and exhibitions. There are 2 executive boardrooms set up for your high-profile meetings. With the importance of seamless technology integration, our facilities are equipped to support your audiovisual needs. Looking for an oasis of bliss? Saunter into our Oasis Lounge and Bistro on Thursdays for Thirsty Thursday, while you enjoy a whopping 15% discount. Make a date for Saturday Barbecue, where we have alfresco dining for nature lovers in our lush manicured lawns, while you savor lip-smacking dishes. The Alisa Hotel Pavilion, where great minds convene and beautiful memories are created. Alisa Hotels, our Aquaba means more than just welcome.
Looking for a one-stop shopping destination for all things made in Ghana? Eager to experience a remarkable fair that showcases the richness, creativity, and innovation behind Ghanaian products and services? Then get ready for the This is Ghana Exhibition 2025, a celebration of excellence in locally made goods and services. This year's exhibition brings together the very best that Ghana has to offer, from timeless traditional crafts to cutting-edge innovations. The This is Ghana Exhibition highlights the brilliance of Ghanaian entrepreneurs, artisans, and businesses who continue to shape the narrative of homegrown excellence. Brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM, this is Ghana's biggest trade fair and exhibition, bringing together SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing sectors, indigenous corporate bodies, and local creatives in one exciting space. Join us in championing Ghanaian talent, creativity, and authenticity. Come explore, engage, and be inspired by the businesses and brands that are redefining Made in Ghana across every sector. The dates: Saturday the 6th and Sunday the 7th of September 2025. Time is 10 a.m. through to 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the A4 Sutherland Children's Park. For inquiries or participation details, call us on 0205 973 973. The This is Ghana Exhibition 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM and is proudly sponsored by MTN, EcoBank, Side Hustle by EK Brand Consult, Build Financial Technologies, Twillam Industrial Company Limited, Ghana Enterprises Agency, Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and Ghana Exim Bank.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
This is the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. We're live from our studio in Adabraka in Accra. In the northern region, you are listening to us on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Upper East region, we're on Quality 88.7 FM in Garum. And in the Upper West region, we're on Tunsong 97.3 FM in Wa. Let's move on to some other stories now. The Office of the Special Prosecutor says it will not hesitate to question individuals whose lifestyles do not align with their known sources of income. Now, this follows renewed calls to criminalize unexplained wealth in Ghana after recent arrests, including the detention of dancehall artist Shatawale over alleged tax-related investigations. Speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show, Director of Strategy, Research and Communication at the OSP, Sami Dakum, acknowledged that Ghana has been slow in developing the necessary legal instruments to enforce the law, largely due to concerns about political abuse.
The challenge, as I said, and even if you read, I think Article 2.8, I've forgotten the real chapter, is talk about unexplained wealth. So if you look at Ghana's regime, our constitution is in full support of non-conviction-based forfeiture, except that we have not developed the legal instrument to operationalize it. So, for instance, I'm aware that when they were considering the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act, we had an express reverse burden, but in the course of deliberations, it was taken out because of this fear by politicians that it may be subject to abuse. But it does not mean that Ghana's legal architecture does not recognize non-conviction-based forfeiture. We have just not been bold enough to flesh it out because a lot of people fear abuse. But everything in this world is subject to abuse. And that's why there are checks and balances. That's why you have to also go to court and do the basic work, which is that you are trying to tell people that I've done the basic work, cross the dots, and that this guy cannot still afford the lifestyle he's living.
You heard the Director of Strategy, Research and Communication at the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Sami Dako. Meanwhile, criminologist Dr. Suleiman Lazarus has urged governments in Ghana and across West Africa to go beyond arrest and prosecutions in tackling the rise in cybercrime, noting that many offenders justify their actions as survival strategies rather than deliberate criminality.
To get more results or to reduce these cybercrime issues, the West African government, Ghana, Nigeria, and other nations, Cameroon, they need to do much more than what they are doing. One angle of improvement is the issue of public perception, because many people in Ghana and Nigeria, they perceive this cybercrime.
Because growing youth population could become a ticking time bomb if governments fail to create jobs quickly enough. He highlights the creative industry, renewable energy and digital startups as sectors generating jobs at a faster pace than the traditional economy, urging greater government investment in those areas. Now, speaking on a panel discussion at a private-public partnership dialogue at the ongoing TICAD in Japan, President Mahama noted that traditional sectors such as agriculture and manufacturing are unable to absorb the millions entering the job market each year.
The creative sector and youth startups are adding jobs faster than the traditional sectors. And so if you take the creatives, renewable energy and those spaces, they add about 4 jobs before you can create 1 job in agriculture or manufacturing. And so investing in that sector means that we can absorb more of the myriad of young people who are coming out of school. If we decide to concentrate on manufacturing and industry, Africa needs to turn up about 12 to 15 million jobs a year. You cannot create that in manufacturing and industry and agriculture alone, but the rate at which the creatives and digital space add jobs is much faster than the traditional economy. So it's a place that we must invest as governments in order that we can absorb more of the youth. We know that we say the youth bulge or the huge youth population in Africa is an advantage, but if we do not create enough jobs fast enough to absorb those young people coming out, then it will become a gunpowder keg and it could consume us.
That was President of the Republic, John Dramani Mahama. Let's now head to the Ashanti region, where the one-week funeral observance of Asantehima Nana Ama Kunadu Yadom III, the 14th Queen Mother of Asante, is underway with rich traditions and cultural displays. As part of the activities, priests and priestesses are seen performing symbolic dances and communicating with the ancestral world in line with custom. Let's now go over the phone lines and speak to our Middle Belt Bureau Chief, Hafiz Tijani. Grateful to you, Hafiz, for joining us on the Citi Prime News. What are these traditional and cultural displays currently underway at Menchia Palace? Describe the atmosphere for us.
Well, so for now, the paramount chiefs from the various traditional areas within the Ashanti and parts of the Ahapo and Bono regions are trooping in here to the Menchia Palace at the event ground. They have taken their seats with their various subjects. So all the paramount chiefs have a label on their umbrellas that brought them here and been held by their subjects here. And they are seated according to the traditional areas. And they are currently waiting for the Asante-Hene to arrive here at the ground. They will go and exchange some pleasantries with him and also mourn with him. Some traditional groups and also religious groups, the clergymen, and also other groups from the Muslim community are also coming in here. All of them are expected to take their seats and wait for the Asante to arrive. We are seeing also the arrival of some members of parliament within the Ashanti region and also some political figures. We are told that the vice president will lead a government delegation to this place, and those arrangements have been done. And we are told that the New Patriotic Party, the leadership of that party, will also be representing heavily, and they will also come and mourn with the Asante. But when we go to areas within the Menchia Palace, the cultural displays just going on, and you can hear in the background the firing of the musketries and all the singing and drumming within the Menchia Palace. And when you go to the main palace of the Asante-Hema, these activities are also there. You see people dancing, drumming, and all that. And there's heavy security presence with major roads leading to the Menchia Palace block.
Mm-hmm. All right, grateful to you, Hafiz Tijani, our Middle Belt Bureau Chief, reporting live from the Menchia Palace. Let's stay in the Ashanti region as national security operatives there have intercepted dozens of diapers suspected to be counterfeit. According to the operatives, the diapers branded in the name of a well-known Ghanaian company were smuggled into the country from Nigeria using falsified documentation. Samples of the seized products were submitted to the Food and Drugs Authority, which confirmed they were counterfeit and unsafe for public use. Speaking to the media, Deputy Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator Alhaji Tapsoba Al-Hassan says efforts are underway to identify and apprehend those behind the importation of the alleged fake products.
We patiently waited somewhere and we saw them offloading these diapers, or is it Pampers, whatever. We took our time, monitored them, and they started offloading. So we sent one of our guys to buy one of the box. When we opened it, we saw that it was a fake Pampers. The quantity is very, very large, as you can see on your screen. We contacted the person that he should bring us her duty paper, which she brought. We called the custom people. We saw that it was a fake Pampers, and they didn't pay tax. It was on customs goods. So we intercepted it and then we brought it to RCC here. I think this is about 3-4 weeks ago. Up to date, no one has come here to claim for the ownership because they knew that it was fake and then on custom goods. So we've called FDA, they came, they verified it and it's fake.
That was the Deputy Ashanti Regional Security Coordinator, Alhaji Tapsoba Al-Hassan. And finally, before we leave, the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council and other transport unions have called off their planned protest over the poor condition of the Pokwase-Nsawam Road. The commercial unions had raised concerns about traffic congestion caused by the road's deterioration. Now, speaking to Citi News, Chairman of GRTCC, Alhaji Mohammed Tanko, praised the government for its prompt intervention, describing it as a clear commitment to addressing the concerns of drivers and passengers.
Formally, we are crying because of the road is not good. And we want government to repair the road for us. And they have sent the contractor and the machines on the road. They have started. So all what we need is to repair the road. When they start doing that work, it doesn't need that we too should go to the strike again. That is why we stopped the strike. Because once he has brought the machines and the contractors on the road, that it means what he has accepted our crying.
Chairman of the Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council, Alhaji Mohammed Tanko, ending this edition of the City Prime News, which has been live from our studio in Adabraka, here in Accra. For more news, log on to our website, citynewsroom.com. I am Charles Osukumi. Thank you for listening.
City News, we speak first.